he's about to go on air. But let me know if I need to bring anything home. What are we doing? We doing the baked potato stuff? Cool. And there's a...
Oh my, what a pizza pie. Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie. Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em.
Before you put your company logo or event name on the streets, say it with authority. Apparel Authority.
And welcome in on a Thursday night as we are live from Stoner's Pizza on Forsyth Road, and it's another edition of Gridiron Gab here on DSPN Sports. I am Russell Deese. This is one of the voices of the Georgia Southern Radio Network, Terry Harvin, and we are here to talk about the national championship. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide taking on the Georgia Bulldogs live from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia on Monday night. But before we get to that game, we're going to talk about what transpired at the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl this past weekend between Georgia and Oklahoma and Alabama and Clemson. And if there's a man that knows enough about college football to talk to us about it, it is this man, Terry Harvin. Good evening, sir. Glad to have you with us on a Thursday night.
It's good to be here, but you give me way too much credit.
Well, I'm just trying to give you a little.
I appreciate the ego boost is there. I appreciate it.
Trying to get you fired up on a cold night.
It is cold outside, and you know, as I was teasing you off air, Snowmageddon.
in southeast Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, you get 4 inches of snow in Savannah.
It's crazy.
And what was it, 5 or 6 in Brunswick and down around McRae? And
no, in Savannah there was an awful lot of drinking going on.
Well, I mean, hell,
Savannah.
Don't have to have snow to have that happen in Savannah. But how about down in your neck of the woods, down in lovely Statesboro?
Statesboro got 4 or 5 inches of rain. I got to tell you, Alan E. Paulson looked beautiful with the white snow on.
Oh, my God.
The pretty stadium there, campus of Georgia Southern.
The most gorgeous
Beautiful.
little stadium in the country.
Well, we don't say that anymore because we're bigger now.
Oh, okay. How many seats now?
Bigger. 20-something thousand.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we got an upper deck.
That's right.
We have an upper deck now. We're big time, man.
Okay.
We got one of those fake fields now. You know, well, they don't call it AstroTurf. What do they call it?
Flex turf.
Flex turf. We have a fake field.
Let me turn, because I'm half deaf.
But, there was a good ball games this weekend, and you had to be, you want to talk about 2 games drastically different, right? But yet not. You had an offensive crazy game with Georgia, right?
Right.
In Oklahoma. Defense kind of showed up at the end a little bit somehow.
Right.
And then you go to the Alabama-Clemson game. Not a lot of offense, just enough to win, and the defensive shine.
Well, and obviously, a Nick Saban defense scoring opportunities, and they do that. Let's recap that real quick, and we're going to go over our pick'em contest. But listen, guys, Monday night is the national championship game. This is the last chance you got to get in on the pick'em contest. So we're going to talk a lot about the pick'em contest tonight. We're going to talk with some folks that are giving away some prizes. We're going to obviously have your calls at 478-550-0524. We got Terry Harvin. We're going to visit with Bobby Pope a little later on in the show.
Bobby Pope's coming?
Bobby Pope is going to, he's going to be on the phone with us.
Oh, he's a legend.
He is a legend in his own mind, too.
Well, are you going to talk about the other national championship team? The self-declared Central Florida?
We'll touch on that. We'll touch the embarrassment of the Peach Bowl for the Auburn Tigers. We'll talk to Jim Harden. We'll talk to Jim Harden about that.
Not Jim Harbaugh.
Not Jim Harbaugh, but Jim Harden a little bit about that. He's been giving the Georgia fans heck all year. And hey, listen, I texted a buddy of mine before that game, and I saw UCF come out of the tunnel, and they were fired up and ready to go, and Auburn come out and looked like they were sleepwalking.
They were.
And I texted him, and I said, this is not going to end well.
Did you say game over?
Game over. And but the Dogs got it done, 54-48 in overtime, and the Alabama Crimson Tide won it 24-6. So let's talk about last week's winners in the Pick'em contest.
Ooh, who won?
Well, who won? Well, our next to the last Pick'em contest of the year, we picked the Rose Bowl, Georgia and Oklahoma. We picked the Sugar Bowl, Alabama and Clemson. So in the Rose Bowl, our winner for the week with the winning pick was Bryant Longshore of Macon.
Me?
It wasn't you, not in the
Wait a minute, Longshore's an Alabama fan.
Yeah, Longshore's a big Alabama guy, Roll Tide. Hey, he's got a face value ticket for $575. You won't buy it for that. He's either going or you're going to pay him a lot of money. And the winner of the Sugar Bowl, Alabama and Clemson, for the first time all year, he finally got it done, Terry Harvin.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank my friends, my family, and I'm going to Disneyland.
All right, so let's talk about what's going to transpire. Let's go over what we've got in the grand prizes that's going to be drawn here next Thursday night live.
Ooh, I want to know.
Yeah, so here's what the grand prizes are. We've got some prizes we're going to give Terry before he gets out of here for winning this week. Bryant came by my office and already picked up his. So here's our list of winners so far this year. In week 1, we had Linton Holloman won.
Did he?
In week 2, we had Jason Downey won. Week 3 was David Mann. Week 4 was Russ Campbell here in Macon. Remember, last year, Russ was one of our grand prize winners of a 12-gauge shotgun, so he won in week 4.
Well, what's the grand prize this year?
I'm getting to that. Week 5 was Michael Barron's. Week 6, we had no winners because y'all couldn't pick your way out of a paper bag. So in week 7,
you had no winners?
No winners. We had to go week 7. We had to go to a double pick'em contest, and David Keys won for the first time this year, and Russ Campbell won for the second time this year. Then we go to week 8, which was Michigan and Penn State. Was one of the few times we stepped out of the conference all year. And David Keys won back-to-back weeks for his second time winning this year. Week 9 was our good friend Georgia Bulldog Mike Owens, and week 10 we had no winner again. It was pitiful.
How can you have no winner?
Because everybody goes over. The rules are you pick the winner and the score, but you cannot go over on the winner's side.
Okay.
And everybody either went over or didn't even get close. Okay, so that means in week 11 we had to go to another double pick'em contest because you losers can't pick a college football game. So we had a double pick'em. We had Notre Dame in Miami and Georgia Auburn. Kit Andrews, a big Auburn Tiger here in Macon, won the Georgia Auburn game, and Tim Hughes, believe it or not, another Auburn guy, won Notre Dame and Miami.
Two Auburn guys won?
Two Auburn guys.
And you're an Auburn guy?
It wasn't rigged. I promise.
Sure?
I got 40 guys picking every week. There's no way it wasn't.
Just asking. Yeah,
Okay.
it does smell
Please
a little fishy.
don't.
Thank you, Mike.
Don't muddy the waters.
Just saying.
Okay, so week 12 we go, and it was Michigan and Wisconsin as we stepped outside the conference for only the third time really, because we had Notre Dame and Michigan, and before that we had Michigan and Penn State, and Linton Holloman won for the second time.
Wow.
Week 13, Alabama and Auburn, and believe it or not, a third-time winner, Russ Campbell, won again.
So is he getting his name in there 3 times?
He gets his name in the hat 3 times. You're getting ahead of the story.
I'm just getting excited.
Okay, so
I'm
Russ
one of those
Campbell
guys gets excited. It's like being in a pizza place like Stoner's and smelling all the pizza.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
You get excited
You
about
get-
the pizza.
You want thin crusty, you want traditional
You want
crust,
Stoner's pizza.
That's right. All right, so week 14 was the SEC championship game, and we had a first-time winner, and his name was Mike Parker. So then we came to the college football playoff games, and our winner in the Rose Bowl was Bryant Longshore, and our winner in the Sugar Bowl was Terry Harvin. So here's what we got. We've got a one-time winner in Bryant Longshore, one-time winner in Linton Holloman, Jason Downey.
Yep.
David Mann won once. Michael Barron has won once. Mike Owens has won once. Tim Hughes has won once. And Kit Andrews has won once. And Mike Parker has won once. So their name goes in the hat one time apiece. Our 3-time winner, Russ Campbell, he won 3 times. He's going in 3 times. 2-time winner is David Keys. He'll go in twice, and everybody else, Bryant got 1, and Terry got 1. So
wait a minute, but Bryant and I won like big-time games like playoff, like semifinals, so therefore it should be weighted.
It doesn't matter.
It's weighted, so therefore it should be more than 1.
Right. Okay.
Should be at least
you're really,
4.
You need to give it up.
Really?
Okay. So
Okay. Just
let me.
asking.
We'll get back to football in a second because that's what he's good at. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do now.
I'm listening.
Monday night is the Pick'em contest, and it is going to be the national championship game between Georgia and Alabama. That's your last chance to get in on this Pick'em contest. And then however many times you won, whether it was once, twice, or 3 times, your name is going to go into a hat. And we're going to have 3 separate drawings. Now, don't fret, because if you're a qualified winner, as we said all year, you get to win the grand prizes, okay? So we're going to do 3 drawings.
So me and Bryant's weighted though, right?
No, it's not weighted. So we're going to do 3 drawings, and here's the prizes we're giving away. We've got 2 season tickets to the new Georgia Doom Arena Football League. We've got some tickets to the Macon Baseball.
I'm excited about them.
Macon Bacon baseball game.
Say that 3 times real quick.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and by the way, we'll have some hats and T-shirts from the Georgia Doom and hopefully from the Macon Bacon to give away next week as well, too. Then we're going to give away a 12-gauge shotgun. Then we're going to give away an AR-15 rifle.
Ooh, wait a minute.
And then we're going to give away a big green egg. So let's say
I want the big green egg.
Let's say we decide to do Georgia Doom tickets and a 12-gauge shotgun, and your name is picked out, you win. Well, guess what? You won that, but because you were a winner in the year, your name's going back in the hat.
For the grand prize.
For all the grand prize.
You mean you can win twice?
You could. You could.
Wow.
And then we're going to give away an AR-15 and some Making Bacon baseball tickets. You could win that. You win it, great. You're back in. And then the final drawing is going to be for the big green egg.
So I could get the AR-15. I could go kill something. And I could use the Making Bacon and the big green egg. And I got a feast.
Yeah, that's all you need. You could go kill a hog, and then you can cook it on the big green egg.
With the Making Bacon.
You've lost your mind.
I have. By the way, I'm very excited about the baseball. I'm glad you brought that up because Savannah Bananas are doing well in Savannah. Seriously, it's been a fun thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they're very active in the community, so it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of things for you to talk about on your show.
We've got some opportunities there with DSBN Sport that we are exploring with the Making Bacon.
Ooh.
And we are also have a meeting next week. The Georgia Doom, the arena football team, will have 5 home games.
Really?
And hopefully you'll get to see
They need a radio guy?
They may. And
I know somebody.
Well, you've got a face for it.
Okay, I do have a face for radio.
But we're live TV. Fortunately, though, the broadcasters aren't shown during our broadcast. But you may be watching some live arena football on DSBN Sports.
No way.
So, yes,
That's awesome.
We're excited about that. We talked to Kevin Atkins a couple of times.
Good.
Got a couple of more meetings with him, and that ought to be a lot of fun. Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take our first break of the night, and when we come back, we're going to go in and break down these 2 playoff games that we saw last week between Georgia and Oklahoma and Alabama and Clemson. And we're going to talk about this. I know he's awful. But we're going to take our first break, and we'll come back, and we'll try to get a guest on the phone with us. We're going to talk live here, nothing but football.
Can we steal some of Mike's pizza?
He might let you have a piece.
Okay,
I don't know.
check.
You have to go ask him. But I know the owner. If you want one, we can get some. All right, so we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to look at the 2 college football playoff games. And we're going to have a couple more guests on the phone. Your calls, 478-550-0524. You're listening to Gridiron Gab, live from Stoner's Pizza on a Thursday night. Cold Thursday night, nothing but some good hot piping pizza. How about some lasagna from here at Stoner's? You can eat it here or you can get it to go, either way you want to do. We'll take a time out. We'll be back after these messages.
Before you put your company logo or event name on the streets, say it with authority. Apparel Authority. Now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's. Shirts, hats, cups, pens, patches, we put your logo on almost anything. Our team provides quality craftsmanship and custom embroidery, and our screen printing will turn your design into wearable works of art. Call or stop by in person for a quote. Apparel Authority, now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's.
This just in. A large storm in the Gulf has all but decimated the entire Gulf shrimping industry, with the exception of a lone shrimping boat manned by a legless veteran and a young gentleman that hasn't stopped waving at our cameras or telling us his mama's advice. Odd. In completely unrelated news, Kudzu Seafood Company, the authentic Gulf Coast seafood restaurant that brought the coast to Middle Georgia, has also cornered the shrimp market in Central Georgia. Barbecue shrimp and cheese grits, buffalo shrimp, firecracker shrimp tacos, shrimp po' boys, shrimp burgers, shrimp baskets, and Dr. Pepper, all on 3rd Street in downtown Macon. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Join us Monday night at the Methodist Children's Home on Pierce Avenue as the Macon Touchdown Club continues its 72nd season of honoring student athletes. Our program will begin at 6:30 with our dinner soon to follow. Our guest speaker this week is none other than former University of Georgia All-American and ESPN analyst Matt Stitzcomb. That's Monday night, November the 6th at the Methodist Children's Home. It's the Macon Touchdown Club. We'll see you on Monday night. For more information, just log on to MaconTouchdownclub.com.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
And welcome back on a Thursday night. We are live from Stoner's Pizza here on Forsyth Road. I am Russell Deese. We have our in-studio guest tonight is the color commentator for the Georgia Southern Network, Terry Harvin, and we are pleased to be joined on the phone right now by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the great Bobby Pope. Bobby, how are you?
I'm doing great, Russell. I hope you and Terry are doing well as well.
Well, I'm doing well. I don't know about Terry. I mean, he's got a face for radio, but I put him on TV tonight.
And I appreciate that, but I'm always doing better when I get a chance to talk to Bobby Pope.
Absolutely. All right, Bobby, let's go back and I'm going to get some interaction with three of us here. First of all, let's talk about this Georgia-Oklahoma game. Your thoughts on the game? One of the best college football games that you've seen, or what were your thoughts on the game?
Well, it was an offensive ball game, and if you really look at it, and Kirby said he was disappointed with the defense, and if you're a Georgia fan, you had to be. I mean, you give up 48 points. You still won, but you gave up 48 points. But I will give them credit. They played well in the second half. When they were down by 17, I didn't know if they could come back. The key play in the ball game was the field goal at the end of the first half.
I agree.
No question about it.
I think we all three agree with that. The pooch kick that they tried, and that gave Georgia a chance, and then Rodrigo hits a 55-yarder, which was a damn Rose Bowl record. And you think about how long the Rose Bowl's been playing around. I forgot how many years this was.
The granddaddy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the first game was in 1903, I believe it was.
Yeah. Wow. Bobby, I agree with you, and Terry and I talked a little bit about this too, and I'll let y'all interact on it, but I thought that was pivotal. And then the adjustment Georgia made at defense at coming out of halftime, it could have been 31-14. It was 31-17, and then Georgia forced them on 5 possessions in the third quarter. They went punt, 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 interception, punt, and I think that's when Georgia won the football game.
Well, I do too, and the running back for Oklahoma didn't get a chance to touch football at that time. I thought the tight end was a big factor for Oklahoma, and they didn't use him that much in the second half.
I agree with you on that, Bobby. I don't know why they didn't go back to him a little bit there and spread it out, but I think you're spot on. The field goal at the end of the first half, and it gave the kicker some more confidence as well because he missed early on, right?
That's right.
And Georgia could not stop Oklahoma's offense. When they finally got to a third down, they converted like it was nothing. But then
they started blitzing a lot in the second
Correct.
half. They really put pressure on Mayfield.
They put pressure on Mayfield, made him do some things, and put the pressure on him that he hasn't seen really all season long. And again, Kirby, I know Russell is not a big Alabama and Saban fan, but Kirby has learned a little bit there. Alabama has a pretty good history of making adjustments at halftime, and that proved to be the case here.
Yeah, it was a heck of a ball game. You didn't care who won the game. You just liked football. It was a great game to watch.
It was certainly a great game. I loved every bit of it. And, I love the aerial shots and a good knowing it was the Rose Bowl. And I know Keith Jackson used to call it, the granddaddy of the bowls.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It still had that nostalgia. And you had to feel for – I know you can't, Russell, because you have a hard time because you're an Auburn guy. But Bobby and I know a lot of Georgia fans out there that have suffered through some pretty tough times, and for them to – there were fans crying at the game.
Well, Bobby –
you were a pup when Georgia won his last national championship with Russell.
I was drinking in boating age and military serving age. So I remember it. I remember it well, and I remember the many years of silence since then. But, Bobby, think about this game a little bit. A couple of things that stood out to me. When I watched the game, as the game was going on, I never felt like Georgia's rushing game was overpowering Oklahoma. That kind of caught me off guard, but they just got it in such big chunks. They only rushed the ball with Michelle and Chubb 25 times, but ended up with 326 yards rushing on 25 carries. And you felt like Oklahoma's defense was hanging in there with them, and I think they did a better job, obviously, of stifling that rushing game in the first half of the game than the second half. Then I was surprised, really, that Oklahoma's offense was able to move the ball down the field against Georgia's defense. In the first half, Roquan Smith really wasn't a factor. Midway through the third quarter, he showed up, and he showed up big.
Yeah, he did. The touchdown to Michelle ran the 50-whatever yard it was. I could have run through that. That was the biggest hole I've ever seen.
Yeah, you could have drove a Mack truck through that, and those.
But you knew it was going to be a track meet. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, Oklahoma's defense, really? Because Oklahoma's defense throughout the season obviously has not been their strong suit. They had one player he's extremely good, and you thought that Georgia's offense and their line has played so exceptional this year. The running backs are so good, but the kid that I'm impressed with, obviously, is like everybody else, the Fromm kid. I'm sorry, he didn't look like – he made a freshman, maybe 2 mistakes, but when you see him walk up to the line of scrimmage, reading the defense, changing the play, barking out the orders, the leadership skills, that's not your traditional freshman quarterback. And it reminded me actually of Alabama's freshman quarterback of last year, who's also very, very good. So I'm very impressed with the Fromm kid. I just think if this kid can stay healthy for 3 more seasons, he's going to be he should be a franchise-type quarterback in the NFL, like a Tom Brady.
Well, I equate him to A.J. McCarron. He's a game manager. He doesn't do anything to hurt you, but he is the type guy that he's the glue that holds the package together, in my opinion. And speaking of that game Monday night, I got 2 tickets I'm trying to sell if anybody needs them.
All right, Bobby's hawking tickets here. It's Pope Hub.
It's on Pope Hub. I was exactly thinking the same thing. Bobby, how much you want for me?
All right, Bobby, you want to give a number out, folks that want to sell them, and where are they located?
Let me say I'm negotiable, but they're upstairs. They're in the upper deck, but they're in the corner of the upper deck. So.
There you go. I'm sure they can reach out to you, Russ, and get in touch with Bobby.
They could, unless Bobby wants to give his phone number out now. If you want to do that, you're welcome to do so.
Well, I think my phone number's in the book. So
okay.
Okay. Well, Bobby, face value is what, $575?
What now?
How much is face value on those?
$475.
$475?
Yeah, it's $675, $575, and $475.
Does he have 2 of them?
Yeah, there's 2 together. And do you know the section and all that yet, or not?
Yeah, there's section 320, row 24, seats 11 and 12. I know that for a fact.
Because I got a Bama fan sitting right here that might be interested in buying them, Bobby. Do we get a cut of the deal here? If I do an auction right here, do we get a percentage?
We can do a live helmet auction here for the tickets.
Yep.
All right, so all right, Bobby, I'll let you know on that if you don't sell them, and let me know if you do sell them, because I do know some folks that are looking for tickets. I'll see if I can help get them to you. All right, so let's move on to Clemson and Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. Your thoughts on that football game? Alabama's got to find some offense, don't they, Bobby?
Yeah, they did. But one thing that Clemson did, and what Georgia can't do, they don't have the mobile quarterback, and that's the one thing that last year, Alabama, if you look at the spread offenses that Alabama has faced over the years, Ole Miss, Clemson, who else? Oklahoma 2 or 3 years ago when they lost, Ohio State when they lost to them, they're all option spread type quarterbacks, and that's what Georgia does not have. I think it's going to be one in the trenches. I really do believe that.
Think it's going to be a low-scoring ball game, Bobby?
Well, I saw somebody pick Georgia to score 14 points, and I see Georgia scoring more than 14 points, and I see Alabama. I think Georgia very easily could win, not very easily, but could win the football game. I don't know if they will. Wow. Saban's got a way. He's 11-0 against his, people that he's groomed, and I mean Kirby may be his top pupil. I will say that.
I think you're right there.
Bobby, you and I touched on this in a conversation earlier. Your thoughts on that? Is Alabama missing Lane Kiffin a whole lot this year?
Oh, I think they are, for sure. I don't think Alabama's as good this year as they have been in the past. And, of course, injuries have had a lot of effect on that. But I don't think this Alabama team is as deep, especially in the defensive line, as they have been, and linebackers, because they've got so many people hurt. And they've got a kid hurt this week in the ball game last week against Clemson.
And I've talked to you about this. I mean, Alabama finished 4th in the conference in total offense. They had almost 6,000 yards. Jalen Hurts passing, they had 2,500 total yards. He had, I think, 2,200 of that. He rushed for another, 800 yards. What's the knock on this guy, Bobby, that I hear from Alabama fans and other people in the conference? The guy's now 26-2 as a starter. for Alabama. He has not won a national championship, but he's only a true sophomore. Do you think the knock on him is justifiable that he can't throw the football?
I don't know what the knock is. Like you said, 26-2, and he doesn't even get mentioned in the Heisman Trophy hunt. That's what, and not that he would have won the Heisman Trophy, because I really think the best player in the country probably won it is Baker Mayfield. He's the best player in the country. I don't know that either. I said that, but I'll tell you, Sean Barkley or whatever his name is, he's daggum good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a player. The thing on, Hurst is that he's not putting up the numbers. He's not going to blow you away with the numbers, but they seem to find a way to win. And if it's the defense winning, who cares? At the end of the day, they won the game and he's still the winning quarterback. And it kind of goes back to what you're talking about with McCarron and some other quarterbacks. They manage the game, and the coach does what they need to do on defense and to whatever they need to do to eat the clock, keep the ball, win the ball game. And he seems to be doing that, obviously, with success.
All right, here's some interesting stats if you look at this. Georgia is averaged 173 yards a game passing. Alabama's 193. Georgia has averaged 267 on the ground. Alabama 256. I mean, hell, Bobby, you can't get any closer statistically than these two football teams are.
Oh, I agree with you. Alabama came out as a 4.5-point favorite and is down to 3.5 is what I saw lately.
Yeah.
But that ought to be a good game, and I can't wait for it.
But the factor, you got to give the factor, sorry to cut you off, Nick Saban. I'm sorry, at the end of the day, like you mentioned, he's 11-0 against previous coaches. Kirby's probably his best student, right, his pupil.
Right.
Been with him the longest. If there's anybody that can pull it off, it's probably going to be Kirby. And Georgia is positioned to be the Alabama of the East if he continues to do what he's been doing. And but I have a hard time. I was talking to Russell off the air earlier, and I said I have a hard time ever betting or picking against Saban, just like with the Patriots, with Belichick and Brady. I just can't pick against them because of who they are.
Well, we'll know at 8:15 come Monday night.
All right, Bobby.
So let me know.
I will. Hey, before you go, give me a score in this game.
31-24.
Georgia.
Roll Tide.
Dogs. Oh, going with the Tide.
Wow, way to go, Bobby.
All right, Bobby. I appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you next week, maybe.
Take care, Bobby. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bobby Pope's the man. You know that
he is. He is. I thought
he said roll Tide at the end. I can't believe he said that.
I thought
you want my score? Can I give you mine?
I know you got to get out of here, so let me get your score.
28-24. Woof, woof, woof.
Dogs.
I'm going with Georgia. And I said, and I am contradicting what I said earlier, in that I don't pick against Saban. So the logical side of me says to go with Saban, which I still agree with. The emotional side says Kirby and the University of Georgia, because at the end of the day, we live in this great peach state. But no matter who wins, the SEC wins an awful lot of money, because it's basically the SEC championship times 2. And I just
everybody's fixing to get paid out of that.
A lot of them. And I also want to pick UCF, by the way. I picked the Knights, the UCF to win. Oh, they won already because they beat Auburn, who beat Georgia and Alabama.
They're national champions, baby. They're having a parade. They're getting a banner.
They got a banner. The coaches are getting bonuses of $200,000 or something like that. Imagine if they were Georgia. But I got to root for Georgia here, or I got to hope they win. But so I'm going to pull for them. But the other side of me, I like Nick Saban. I know you don't, but I do. And the kid,
you can't argue with what the guy's done.
You have a hard time doing it.
If he wins this one, will he pass Bryant? I think he passes Bear Bryant, or ties him.
Ties him. He's worthy of the statue. And right there, that Georgia's in this ball game validates why Mark Richt is in Miami and not in Athens anymore. Sorry, at the end of the day.
Here's the only other thing. You name me another football team that doesn't win their conference that can backdoor into a national championship game. I get
Alabama's done it twice, right?
Did it 3 times. He's done it at LSU.
There again, if you had a
he's had one undefeated season in all of his.
If they would take a page from the old 1AA days or FCS now and do a 16-team playoff, or even an 8, I could give an 8 right now.
8.
At least
I don't see 16.
I don't see 16, but 8 would be realistic at least.
You can't do 16 and play 12 games.
No, you can't. But if you gave, that would give the UCFs of the world. That would give those teams that maybe.
Somebody's always not going
the
to
Ohio States of the world a chance,
right.
Because you get into playoffs, you got a chance to make a run out of the team, and at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. It's who can get through the playoffs. I played the best and I beat them, but unfortunately, the downside, and I know you got to go to break there. What the FCS has done, or 1AA did, they used to do it originally. You had the 16 teams and you ranked them 1 through 16.
Right.
And so number 1 played 16 and 2 played 15 the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Then they changed it to make it geographical.
Right.
Which I don't agree with at all because at the end of the day, it is 1 plays 16. Right. Now, I look back at the Georgia Southern days. I remember we won the 1AA national championship. We came in as a 16 seed.
Right.
You had to beat the number 1, then you had to beat the other ones, and you got through all that. You deserve it.
You deserve it.
You deserve
There's
it.
no doubt you're national champion.
UCF, I mean, look what Kiffin's done. Look what he's done at FAU. I mean, really.
Hey, talk about him for a second.
Yeah.
I've got people tell me no because of his immaturity. I call him he's the new Steve Spurrier in my mind, with the attitude and the quipes and stuff. It's a little different, but if you go back and remember Spurrier at Florida with all the little zingers and stuff that he used to. Kiffin's kind of that way. He uses Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of stuff.
Where's Kiffin came from? His dad? I mean, Spurrier played ball.
Yeah.
Spurrier was a Heisman Trophy winner.
I get
what did Kiffin play?
It's not that. I'm talking about persona as a
coach. That's my point, too. I don't think you – like Saban, a lot of people say, well, Saban's a whatever. Okay?
Right.
Well, he can be a whatever because he's won. Right? He's gotten to that point. Kiffin is obviously very good because that tells you what good coaching and good assistant coaches will do.
He's the best play caller in America.
Obviously, because he goes down to FAU, who won, 10 games over 3 years, and he wins 10 games in his first year, right? Or more.
Right.
So, I mean, he's obviously – but there's obviously some baggage that goes with him. Do I want him to coach in my school? I don't know if I can handle that.
Not yet.
But maybe if it matures and whatnot.
3 years, he's coaching a major program, I'll say.
Perhaps he's going to probably have a little buyout. But, yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, he could be. And you see the struggle that Tennessee had trying to find a coach, right? Yeah. Hey, and I
thought he was on his way as Tennessee's coach.
You thought he'd come back?
No, not go back.
Oh.
I thought when he was there that 1 year,
okay.
It was obvious to me the guy could coach, and he was much younger then than he is now. I think the guy's a future great D1 football coach.
I think he's a good head coach now,
right.
Obviously. He's going to have some growing to do and maturing to do like all of us have had to do.
Sure, absolutely.
And eat our words. I wasn't a big Muschamp fan. Still not.
Right.
But you got to give the guy a lot of credit for what he's done at South Carolina. He obviously learned a lot at Florida and the mistakes that he made there.
Absolutely.
And then he comes on the heels of Spurrier and then goes up there in the bowl games and knocks off Michigan. And then the other thing I want you to talk about is where you think, where's Mr. Eason going to go? Does he go back West Coast to UCLA or USC? Or does he go up to
Washington?
I was going to say Duke.
Yeah, he ain't going to Duke.
Why? He's not a college coach, college quarterback. He can say whatever Eason wants to say. I want to go to a program to compete for a national championship. No, you don't. You want to go to the pros. So
right.
Go to the coach that's going to make you the best pro quarterback that you possibly can be. You're not going to win the national championship. Go to a coach that's going to take you to the national football league.
And I thought about UCLA with Josh Rosen leaving, but Chip Kelly's not the kind of quarterback.
No.
He's not a Chip Kelly quarterback. Now, he could go to Washington, where you got the guy from Boise State that's at Washington.
He is, and then you got Washington State with the Pirate. The Pirate, you know.
He's developed some talent.
Oh, he's developed. What about Stanford? I mean, that's that style offense that Eason runs. He's not a mobile quarterback.
Would he go to Miami with Mark Richt? Now, here's the thing. I think Kirby Smart.
Be a good mission plan.
If he wants to go.
You like that?
No.
I wouldn't be a negative.
Yeah,
because he's down in Miami.
Yeah, I understand. Boy, there's plenty. There's a place down there.
That Mark Richt, you got to, as much grief as I've given him, he's done a good job.
Yeah, and he had a top 5 recruiting class again this year.
And he will continue to, because you're talking about a hotbed of talent down there in South Florida.
Well, let's see if he can turn it into anything.
I think he can. I think
couldn't
he
do
will.
it at Georgia. Let's see if he can do it at Miami.
Different ball game. I think he will. Again, he's learned from his stint at Georgia.
Maybe. Leopard don't change his spots.
No, we'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, the other thing is I don't think Kirby's going to let him go to another SEC school.
No.
But he will let him go. And here's another interesting.
What?
Too bad Shea Patterson went to Michigan. Would he go to Jim Harbaugh in Michigan?
Ooh.
That would have been a good fit.
I mean,
but now they've got Shea Patterson from Ole Miss.
They do.
So.
I wouldn't let him go to an SEC school. I probably wouldn't let him go to an ACC school. I think if I was to let him transfer out, let him go to a Pac-12, go at there. Why not?
Sure. I think that's what we'll know. I bet we'll know within. I think we'll know next week after the championship game before the weekend gets here what his plans are. Okay, so I know you got to get out of here. So here's this week's.
What I win? I want to know what I won.
Okay, let's see. You won.
Get my glasses on.
Yeah, put your glasses on. We've got you a couple of tumblers.
Are you going to say Roll Tide or Go Dogs? By the way, who's your pick?
Neither one. Let's move on.
Come on,
another,
pick.
Another subject.
Before I go.
All right. So we got a couple of tumblers.
Hold
for
on.
you.
Macon Touchdown Club. Thank you
sir.
very much.
All right, so in here you've got a
You going to have the Georgia Southern coach next year?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of that.
Come on,
part
will
of
you
the
make it
program.
happen?
I'm not part of that program.
Make it happen. Just
All
commit
right,
to me.
Let's move on so we can move on. Here's all your certificates. You got Moe's, Kudzu Seafood, Texas Border Grill,
Stoner's Pizza,
and Freddy's.
Freddy's, the ice cream place.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they do burgers too.
Wait a minute. All that's in here?
All that's in there. So you win that.
Did I tell you I was on a diet?
No, and I don't care about your diet. Then you get a fine, look at this, DSBN hat.
DSBN.
The leader in new media sports, baby.
DSBN, the leader in new media sports.
And then we have you a fine Gridiron Gab T-shirt.
Is it a size? Is it?
It's large. Excuse me.
Did you have to cough when you say it?
No, I got my. It's large. That's all you get. Lose some damn weight.
So you're going to show my abs, huh?
That's it.
I got some. There's abs in this cooler right here.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I'm going to show them off. I'm so excited. And you know what, Russ?
Yes.
I appreciate you doing this. I had a lot of fun, and thanks for letting me hang out with you, man.
I appreciate it.
And I appreciate. Hey, by the way,
got your pick.
Can you calm things down in front of you, Park and Musella?
It's always an adventure on Bible Avenue. Folks.
I mean, I go by there, and I see it in the media. You're getting a lot of free press.
I'll take it. 100-mile-an-hour chase down Bible Avenue, then a T-bone wreck, and then a guy tries to run, and the police tase him, and guess what? They tased him in the jaw.
In the jaw.
It's great.
Oh, look, hold on. Is that for me?
Wait.
Is that for me?
We have one other.
Come on, tell me it's for me.
Here we go.
Please, Stoner's Pizza.
We're throwing in a Stoner's Pizza joint.
You know what?
It's about time. Hell, I've been waiting on them all
Not
year.
only is the pizza and the wings, by the way, here are very good, but the name is awesome.
It is
I
awesome.
just love the name, and that's all. And you know what else I like that I wish I could buy?
What?
You got a silver Jeep on your lot.
Yeah.
I'm just shameless.
One of your daughters would look good in that.
No, I would look good in that. I appreciate you again. Thanks for letting me hang out with you. And by the way, did I also, since you mentioned Macon Touchdown Club, the tickets are going to go on sale for the spring event?
Yeah, the Jamboree. We're coming up February 19th, and the guest speaker, Gus Malzahn of the Auburn Tigers.
Really?
Yes, Gus Malzahn.
That's the same school that lost to UCF for the national championship.
Terry, it's been great having you on the show.
Love you, brother. Thank
I
you.
would love for you to stick around a little longer, but I got to go talk to a couple of folks that help me make some money with this. But all right, I got your pick, Dogs 28-24. Next Thursday night, you can pull your mic down one more time. Next Thursday night, you're gonna be here.
I'm gonna be here. Okay, I'm here.
Okay, all right, you're out of here.
I'm out of here. I might go to Atlanta to watch the ball game. Roll wolf, wolf, wolf. How's that?
All right. You gotta go. All right, we're out of here. We're gonna come back and we're gonna have a special guest and we'll talk to Charles Crowley from Stoner's Pizza when we get back. You're listening to Gridiron Gab on a Thursday night. Hold on, you're making noise while I'm going to a commercial break here. Keep your headset on.
Oh,
golly, you're running my show.
I was getting some insider information on where Easton might be going.
Okay, we're going to a break now, and he's leaving.
I'm leaving.
We'll be back.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em.
Before you put your company logo or event name on the streets, say it with authority. Apparel Authority. Now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's. Shirts, hats, cups, pens, patches, we put your logo on almost anything. Our team provides quality craftsmanship and custom embroidery, and our screen printing will turn your design into wearable works of art. Call or stop by in person for a quote. Apparel Authority, now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's.
This just in. A large storm in the Gulf has all but decimated the entire Gulf shrimping industry, with the exception of a lone shrimping boat manned by a legless veteran and a young gentleman that hasn't stopped waving at our cameras or telling us his mama's advice. Odd. In completely unrelated news, Kudzu Seafood Company, the authentic Gulf Coast seafood restaurant that brought the coast to Middle Georgia, has also cornered the shrimp market in Central Georgia. Barbecue shrimp and cheese grits, buffalo shrimp, firecracker shrimp tacos, shrimp po' boys, shrimp burgers, shrimp baskets, and Dr. Pepper, all on 3rd Street in downtown Macon. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Join us Monday night at the Methodist Children's Home on Pierce Avenue as the Macon Touchdown Club continues its 72nd season of honoring student athletes. Our program will begin at 6:30 with our dinner soon to follow. Our guest speaker this week is none other than former University of Georgia All-American and ESPN analyst Matt Stitzcomb. That's Monday night, November the 6th at the Methodist Children's Home. It's the Macon Touchdown Club. We'll see you on Monday night. For more information, just log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily. Use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. And get my mic on, and welcome back on a Thursday night. We are live from Stoner's Pizza here on Forsyth Road. Glad to have you with us again on another edition of Gridiron Gab, as we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and DSBNsports.com as we speak. I want to thank our guests that we've had so far, Terry Harvin, the color man for the Georgia Southern Radio Network, and also had our good friend Bobby Pope giving us his thoughts on the two college football playoff games from last weekend. So speaking of the college football playoff games from last weekend, let's go live to sunny Southern California and our good friend BB Dog, who is yet to leave California. He's still celebrating the Dogs' overtime victory, 54-48 over the Oklahoma Sooners. Brett, how are you, my man? You still sky high, aren't you?
Feet hadn't touched the ground, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, brother. Well, tell us what the experience was like. It was an awfully great game to watch on TV if you're a college football fan. It was something else to watch.
It is, and real quickly, I wish I could give you a shot, but we're in Dawn's corporate apartment in Chatsworth, which is a suburb of L.A., and all I can see, I'm on the balcony, and she's watching inside on the big screen, is these dadgum San Gabriel Mountains with the sunset coming up shortly. It's a heck of a place. I know, you and I've referenced you. I don't know if you've seen on lots of my videos, the land of the fruits and nuts. to come out here and spend a week is quite special, especially when I hear the weather back home is crazy cold. It is right now on this balcony. It is sunny and 75 freaking degrees. Well,
it's about as perfect weather as you're going to get out in California. Now, y'all are in Chatsworth. Now, how far was that? I know y'all stayed there, one night, and then you moved closer to Pasadena as you went toward the game.
We flew in really early on last Friday. Came out here to Chatsworth. It's probably, and I can't curse myself, but man, we've been in Uber cars, everywhere we go, and
right.
I had yet to have any traffic anywhere near Atlanta. It's been amazing. I guess maybe because of the holidays, school's out, and all kind of that, but the traffic has been absolutely nothing. I mean, I hope that. And we're flying out so early in the morning, hopefully it won't be an issue then. But, yeah, we left here Saturday morning, went down to Hollywood, had 2 nights in Hollywood, had a freaking blast watching the Falcons and partying. We were at a sports bar on Hollywood and Vine. The Chris Berman Star of Fame was right out the window. I made some silly pictures with him. But everybody, not everybody, but most everybody in that bar was Georgia fans. We did several live videos right outside of that. And then we went to, some pretty trendy places for dinner and cocktails that night. And, of course, did New Year's Eve back at the sports bar. And then the epic day from leaving there New Year's morning to going to the Hilton in San Gabriel, which was only about 5 or 6 miles from the Rose Bowl. And then Ubered down there. And I tell you what, man, that place, it's unreal. I remember what's the guy? Rick Neuheisel.
Right.
About how when that sun goes down and between the third and fourth quarter, it's in a valley.
Right.
Pasadena is very small, very cool, but the Rose Bowl is down in the valley of those San Gabriel Mountains. But I'm going to tell you, with that dadgum flyover with that stealth bomber, I mean, I had chills the size of a freaking golf ball.
Talk about No, I saw all that on TV. There's an incredible photograph of the B-1 flying over the top of the stadium. It's just an unbelievable sight. Talk about the crowd at the game. Size-wise, was it a dominant Georgia crowd as opposed to Oklahoma?
Yes, I would think so, and especially, at the start of the fourth quarter, we have a tradition of doing our flashlights on our iPhones or whatever phone and doing it down with your hands. There may have been some Oklahoma people do it, but I don't think they do that. If they did it, they'd do it because we were doing it. But we were just talking about this in the house, actually. I would say, I'd say 65-35, man, if I had to guess.
All right, so get into...
Or maybe 60-40. I mean, they had a lot of it. But everywhere we went, in Hollywood and all, very, very few OU fans.
Well, the SEC is going to travel. There ain't no doubt about it. All right, let's get into the game itself. Little nerves at halftime when 31 looked like 31-14, and then Oklahoma does the pooch kick, and Rodrigo hits a Rose Bowl record 55-yarder. What was your emotion going into half? What you had seen so far out of Oklahoma's offense?
Oh, I think I texted you or something. I mean, I know I posted it on Facebook to some of the people I was talking to that if OU would have come out and scored a touchdown on the opening drive of the second half, I made the comment that we're probably toast. And then, as you mentioned with Terry a while ago, the halftime adjustments were unreal. I think they were just really tight. I'm talking about defensively in the first half.
Right.
But it was just, while it's on my mind, it was the most, with everything on the line, the most magical game I've ever seen live in person. I will say that. And there's no doubt about it.
Brett, I was a little surprised coming into this game. I really thought Georgia's offense was going to move the ball early on them. I was surprised that Oklahoma was able to move the ball on that Georgia defense in the first half like they did. But I'll tell you what, they proved they're a very good offensive football team.
Oh, there's no doubt. I knew that. I mean, my God, you're playing the Heisman Trophy winner. Yeah, he was sick all week, but he wasn't sick in that game. He does that every time they score, that little running off the field, doing his arms like a wild man. I mean, he was no ill effect to me, whatever. But,
yeah,
and I'll tell you what, we don't give. Well, and we had a ton of Georgia fans where we were sitting, and people don't give their running back enough credit. That dude was unbelievable.
Yeah, he ended up. I mean, he really only rushed, I think, for 900 yards the whole season. I think he ended up with about 160 against Georgia. That was rather unexpected to me that he would be able to put those kind of numbers up. Baker Mayfield is awfully impressive, whether you like his antics or not. The guy's a hell of a quarterback, isn't he, Brett?
Oh, absolutely, no question. But we had 5 total sacks. In the second half, we really started kind of confused by getting pressure in his face and all that.
Right.
There was one time, luckily, we were sitting in the Georgia end zone where all the action, obviously, at the end of the game was. And he rolled out one time, and he tried to stop. And I don't know if the turf was kind of slick, but it looked like he skidded on roller skates about 3 yards, and then number 3 took him to the ground pretty hard.
It was. Go ahead.
Rokon wasn't doing a whole lot, as you mentioned earlier in the first half, but they figured some things out in the second half. And to me, and I see you've got the Bulldog Illustrated magazine there with your little helmets on the set. I love that, and that's my thing for this game coming up. Is that I truly, truly believe we're the Destiny Dogs. There's no question.
All right, so I know you got to watch some, if not much, probably because y'all were still celebrating. Your thoughts on Alabama and Clemson?
Speaking of the Rose Bowl being in that valley, man, the line you can park down in there, but not many people do. They take these shuttles in there.
Right.
See, we were in like an hour line to get to the shuttle, and finally I said, "Heck no, let's ask somebody to." We walked probably 2.5 miles up this, almost could say a mountain, and saw some incredible houses in Old Town Pasadena, and finally got a daggum Uber ride. The internet was blown up with all the people. You couldn't even get your app to work on Uber. So we finally got back to our hotel, and I think it was midway through the third quarter of the Sugar Bowl. So we saw, a little bit of it. From what I saw, Alabama was very dominant on defense. The guy that sitting with us at the bar said that Clemson definitely helped him out with 2 picks, one of them being a pick 6, I believe.
Right.
And then I was a little shocked. I actually picked Clemson to win the game. in our contest, and I have to give kudos to my wife. She won the family poll again. But yeah, you can hear the excitement in my voice still. I mean, it's been a magical trip, man. Especially when you couple this with the Notre Dame trip. I mean, it's the season of a lifetime. So hopefully we can cap it off Monday night. But you know what? If we lose, I mean, hey, at least we got there.
That's right. I mean, there's a lot of other teams in college football that are not making that chance. All right, so I'm going to nail you down here. Let's have a pick for that game Monday night.
I about fell out my chair a while ago when Terry picked his score, because mine's going to be, if it's available, 1 point difference. 27-24, good guys, and that would be the Dogs.
27-24, Georgia. All right, when you coming home?
We're flying out early in the morning. We're going to leave LAX, I think, at 7:30 or something like that.
You going Monday night?
No, man, I've got to go. I'm going to be home for just 2 freaking nights. Then I start driving my way to Shreveport for a sales meeting. I want to strangle my boss. I want to strangle him.
Well,
so I'll be going live from Shreveport, probably do the first half of some pretty cool sports bar that Drew Brees owns is right there near my hotel in Shreveport. And then I'm going to take my butt home and focus on just watching the game in the second half.
All right,
you know how late these games go.
Hey, we hadn't touched on it real quickly. The Falcons got to take on the Rams Saturday. What are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I mean, again, that sports bar when we were watching the Falcons-Panthers game was just full of dogs, and everybody was, as a matter of fact, I had my Falcons jersey on and my Georgia shorts, and very excited that we got into the playoffs. And then Gurley, of course, goes to the Rose Bowl, and he didn't even play, but we're like, if we could stay one more day, we could have gone to that freaking game. In matter of fact, if I didn't have this upcoming sales meeting, we would stay out here together.
Where is that game played at the Rose Bowl?
No, it's in the Coliseum.
Oh, the Coliseum. That's right. That's right. Well, if you were missing traffic, you can go to L.A. You can find it.
That's right.
All right. You and Mama have a safe trip coming home, and we'll talk to you over the weekend.
All right, brother. Love you.
All right, man. Take care. All right. So that was our buddy Brett Barron. He is live. He has been out in California all week. Went to see the Dogs play. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Clay Hillier from Pond Max Incorporated. We'll be back after this timeout. Hey, folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey, folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. And welcome back on a Thursday night. We're live from Stoner's Pizza here on Forsyth Road. Russell Deese, glad to have you with us. Just got through talking to Brett Barron, BB Dog, as he's been live out in Pasadena all week. Went to the big game where the Dogs won it in overtime over Oklahoma, and they get ready for Monday night's game against Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. And that game will be Monday night, and, of course, Saturday night. Don't forget the Falcons do play. But without further ado, let's go back to the phones and let's talk to our good friend and one of the sponsors of this show. He's the head man at Pawn Max Incorporated here in Macon, and it's Clay Hillier. Clay, good evening, and how are you?
I'm doing great, Russell. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and you've had a Happy New Year so far.
It's been good so far. Been a lot of good football, like you was talking about.
Yeah, Go ahead.
Looking forward to Monday's game also.
Well, now, Clay, before we get into talking about the game, you've been a sponsor with us all year here. Tell us a little bit about Pawn Max Incorporated.
Well, Pawn Max, we're on 24 full-time on them. We've been there since 2000, so we're working on our 18th year now. And we just couldn't be happier over there. We've got a great customer base. We've really got a good family environment there where, people that come in, they're all repeat business. And we'd love for anybody that's listening to come out and see what we're about. We sell jewelry, guns, electronics, lawn equipment. We're running low on heaters right now. But,
yeah.
normally have plenty of that stuff in, too.
All right, Clay, y'all been in business 18 years. I know we talked a little bit around Christmas time about people. Listen, I think the economy's getting better, but people are still, after what we've been through the last 7 or 8 years with the economy, people are looking for value for their dollar. And, when you think of a Pawn Max, you think of a pawn store. But in reality, if you've got dollars to spend, that's a good place to make them stretch.
Exactly. I hardly shop retail anymore. Retail's sort of a bad word now. And we stand behind our products, so you can feel comfortable buying from us. We have, the TVs. We give a warranty on them. Just paying full prices for the birds. So if you're okay with having a ding or two like it's going to have after a couple of weeks anyway.
That's right. You got
really
kids in the you got kids in the house? Well, I mean, you go buy that new $1,200 TV, and they could have probably got the same model from you for somewhere around $700 or $600, and it's got a little nick on the corner. Yeah, too bad.
Right, or missing the back on the remote might be the worst. We can fix that.
Yeah, that's right. You can figure. And I'll tell you the neat thing about your inventory, as you touched on, is you come over to your place, Clay. Not only do you have, I've seen boats, I've seen trailers, I've seen grills, I've seen hardware tools, especially power tools, and then you've got a tremendous jewelry showcase there as well. And you also have firearms. Touch on that a little bit too. You seem to have expanded your firearm selection over the last year or two.
Yeah, in just the last couple of years, we hired a guy to come in and help us out on our farms. He used to run a knife shop here in town. I think a lot of people know him as Trader Bill. And he's gotten over there and really got us some good stuff in. We turn a lot of guns over there. And we tend to stay in the affordable guns in our market over there. We do get some nicer stuff in, but we our niche is probably, the $200 to $400 range handguns and long guns. And of course the AR-15s and that basically sell themselves.
Absolutely.
Everything going on.
So let's talk about that for a minute, because you agreed to come on and be a sponsor this year, and you've got two fantastic prizes that you're going to give away for the grand prize drawing here next Thursday night. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to give us. You got a 12-gauge shotgun and an AR-15 rifle that you're going to give away in the grand prize drawing.
Yeah, we've got the 12 gauge is a TriStar Cobra pump nickel marine shotgun. It's a nickel-plated pump shotgun. It'll never rust. It's designed for a marine environment. So if you do want to take it out on your boat, you can. But if you want to neglect it a little bit, it'll take that. Just come back and clean it up later. But there's nothing better than that for home defense. And the rifle we got is a Delton DTI-15, which is an AR-15 platform. It's a stripped down. It's ready to be tricked out with whatever you want to put on. Put light, lasers, holographic sights, anything like that. So.
Yeah, and I've been a long-time AR-15 owner, and I've always told folks, why are you going out and spending all this money? AR-15 is basically a kit gun. You can take the parts off one and put it on another. Why buy you a nice entry-level gun and then dress it up the way you want to, and you put the accessories on it. And to me, that's always the way to go. And you talk about two great, fantastic prizes. I got guys licking at their chops in the pick'em contest ready to get their hands on those two.
Have you got some leaders already?
Yes, we do. We've got. I've got one guy that's won 3 pick'ems this year, and I've got a couple others that have won 2, and then we've got a bunch of single game winners, and their names are all going to go in the hat, and we're going to do the drawing. And your two, the shotgun and the AR, is going to be a part of that next Thursday night. And everybody's got one more chance to get in on the pick'em contest because we're picking the national championship game, obviously on Monday night with Georgia and Alabama. Now, I know you're an Auburn guy, like as well known that I am. Your thoughts on the Peach Bowl on Saturday with UCF and Auburn?
Oh, well, that was very disappointing. It didn't look like we really showed up. I think one of our players was even quoted as saying that it's hard to get up for a game when their hopes were shot down in the SEC championship game by a great Georgia team. And I think it was just hard for them to get up for that game. Of course, yeah, wasn't too shabby either. So,
I'm
really just now, you know, as an Auburn guy, we just look forward to next year now.
All right, hey Clay. Speaking of that, and get your insights as an Auburn man. What's your thoughts on the contract extension on Gus Malzahn? Typical Auburn guy, alumni, fan, season ticket holder, whatever. Your thoughts on him getting the big contract? And I've heard some Auburn guys say, I like it. It's stability to the program. What's Clay's thought on Gus Malzahn?
I would agree with that. It does bring stability. I think Gus really hit the lottery with winning, beating Georgia, beating Alabama, and then Arkansas firing their coach. So he was really sitting in a good position. I think his agent,
Jimmy Sexton, yeah,
was excited about that too. With two teams in a bidding war.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for a contract, you couldn't have rolled out the red carpet for him better. Is he an elite coach? Clay?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Your thoughts on Gus? Is he an elite coach? Is he a top 5 coach? Is he an elite coach?
I think he's got to finish the drill. He's got a few more. You know, they've been complaining about his bowl wins. He's only had 1 bowl win in the last 5 years that he's been there. And if that doesn't change real fast, he's not going to. That contract extension is going to mean nothing. But I think he does have some skill. We lost a few players in the draft, some underclassmen this year,
right?
Good players. But I think we really got a good foundation right now, and I think he's excited. I'm excited. We got good recruits that are coming in. A big quarterback. I don't know if I'm sure you've been watching that Joey Gatewood.
Oh yeah.
And of course his size and athleticism lends to comparisons to Cam Newton, and we'll just have to wait and see how he develops.
All right, so before we let you get out of here, how about give me a pick on that Georgia-Alabama game for the national championship?
Well, I'm going to have to go with Georgia because my home is in Alabama, my family's in Alabama, and it'll be a whole lot easier to travel home in Georgia. Just go ahead and finish it. And I've got lots of friends here that are big-time Georgia fans, and I really want them to experience what we experienced. And with Alabama, they've had enough. They've had enough. Let Georgia have one.
All right, give me a score in that game.
A score? I'm going to say 35-27.
35-27. As I look at this game right now, Alabama's got to find some offense to win this game. I think defensively they're good enough. We all agree on that, but they've been rather anemic on offense, and you may be right. It may be a special year for the Georgia Bulldogs, and it's been since 1980. It's been since 1983 since they played in it. Maybe Kirby's just going to get it done this year, and Georgia fans can finally sigh a big relief after all these years.
But you know what would be nice, Russell? If we get Georgia and the Falcons to get in there. That'd be something else there too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think the Falcons are going to have a tough time on Saturday night, but we'll see. All right, Clay, Palmax Incorporated, 2404 Pinona Avenue. Your phone number out there is 478-781-4600. Give us what hours you're open out there, Clay.
We're open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Very simple.
All right, good enough. Well, Clay, we'll talk to you next Thursday night for our grand prize giveaway, and I appreciate you taking some time. I know you've been working all day and hanging out with us a little bit, and I certainly appreciate everything you did for us here on DSPN Sports this year.
Thank you for the opportunity. Y'all have a great evening.
Okay, Clay, take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that was Clay Hillier from Pond Max Incorporated. He's giving away a Marine 12-gauge pump shotgun and a Delton AR-15 next week as part of our grand prize drawings. So you got time, plenty to get your score in, and it's going to be Georgia and Alabama for the national championship from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We haven't had a chance to talk a lot about the Falcons. Maybe we can do that here in the closing minutes. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll talk to Mr. Charles Curley about his Alabama Crimson Tide and another national championship opportunity for Nick Saban and the Tide as they get ready for the Dogs on Monday night. You are watching Gridiron Gab live at DSPN Sports. We are here live at Stoner's Pizza on Forsyth Road. We'll be back after this timeout. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at U Park 'em Used Sell 'em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. U Park 'em Used Sell 'em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, U Park 'em Used Sell 'em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at U Park 'em Used Sell 'em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at U Park 'em Used Sell 'em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. U Park 'em Used Sell 'em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's U Park 'em Used Sell 'em.
Before you put your company logo or event name on the streets, say it with authority. Apparel Authority. Now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's. Shirts, hats, cups, pens, patches, we put your logo on almost anything. Our team provides quality craftsmanship and custom embroidery, and our screen printing will turn your design into wearable works of art. Call or stop by in person for a quote. Apparel Authority, now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's.
This just in. A large storm in the Gulf has all but decimated the entire Gulf shrimping industry, with the exception of a lone shrimping boat manned by a legless veteran and a young gentleman that hasn't stopped waving at our cameras or telling us his mama's advice. Odd. In completely unrelated news, Kudzu Seafood Company, the authentic Gulf Coast seafood restaurant that brought the coast to Middle Georgia, has also cornered the shrimp market in Central Georgia. Barbecue shrimp and cheese grits, buffalo shrimp, firecracker shrimp tacos, shrimp po' boys, shrimp burgers, shrimp baskets, and Dr. Pepper, all on 3rd Street in downtown Macon. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Join us Monday night at the Methodist Children's Home on Pierce Avenue as the Macon Touchdown Club continues its 72nd season of honoring student athletes. Our program will begin at 6:30 with our dinner soon to follow. Our guest speaker this week is none other than former University of Georgia All-American and ESPN analyst Matt Stitzcomb. That's Monday night, November the 6th at the Methodist Children's Home. It's the Macon Touchdown Club. We'll see you on Monday night. For more information, just log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com.
Oh my, what a pizza pie! Take one bite and you'll say it too. In fact, take one bite of anything they cook at Stoner's Pizza Joint and they've got you. You'll immediately taste the difference because they make their dough daily, use only the finest cheese and top quality meats. Stoner's even cuts their vegetables fresh every day. Combine all that on the crisp crust taste of a stone oven, and in between bites you'll say, oh my, what a pizza pie! Stoner's Pizza Joint, Forsyth Road, Macon, and Houston Lake Road, Warner Robins.
Planning on a holiday party with friends, family, or coworkers? Texas Border Grill's private banquet room offers seating from 5 to 55. Lunch to dinner 7 days a week. Featuring an amazing menu with aged beef, seafood, and so many other signature dishes. Texas Border Grill.
Hey folks, Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. When you get ready to buy a new car or a newer automobile, there's always the dilemma of what to do with your current car. Well, that's where You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue comes in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the only alternative to giving your car to a local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market your car yourself. So when you get ready to sell your old car, give them a call today at 254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, 3306 Vineville Avenue. Hey folks, every now and then we're a little tight on cash. Well, if you're tight on cash, we want to encourage you to visit Pawn Max Incorporated, located at 2404 Pinona Avenue. Pawn Max is the place to get a loan or sell your valuables, hassle-free, making it easy to turn your unwanted gold, jewelry, tools, even firearms into cash. Why let your pieces collect dust when you need to collect dollars? They're licensed and insured and will give you the best money for your items. Go visit them today at 2404 Pinona Avenue right here in Macon, or visit them online at pawnmaxinc.com. It's football time in Middle Georgia, and that means it's time for the Macon Touchdown Club. Join us this year as we kick off our 72nd year at the Methodist Children's Home at 304 Pierce Avenue each and every Monday night. Come join us for a night filled of football fun and fellowship. We kick it off September the 11th. The Macon Touchdown Club, honoring student athletes since 1946. To find out more, log on to MaconTouchdownClub.com. Hey folks, it's Russell from Gridiron Game of the Week. You know, there comes a time when we all start to look for a brand new or even a newer automobile, and as a consumer, your choices have always been limited as to where to shop, and secondly, what to do with your current car. Take it to the local dealer and trade it in for wholesale, ride around town with that ugly for sale sign in the back window, or park it in your driveway and hope somebody stops by and they're really there to look at your car. Well, that's where the fine folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em at 3306 Vineville Avenue in Macon come in. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em is the original automobile dealership with the owner in mind. For almost 18 years, You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has been the alternative to giving your car away to the local dealer on a trade-in or trying to market the car yourself. The professional staff at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em has 35 years of experience in the automobile industry, and they're there solely to help you through the process of selling or buying your next car. If you have a car and you're ready to sell it, let the folks at You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em show you how to maximize your vehicle's marketing and financial potential today. You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em, the car lot for you. Remember folks, don't just park it, sell it. Give them a call today, 478-254-6310. That's You Park 'Em, You Sell 'Em. And welcome back on a Thursday night as we are live from Stoner's Pizza here on Forsyth Road. We want to thank all our guests that we've had here tonight. Terry Harvin from the Georgia Southern Network. Bobby Pope always leads his insights into college football. Brett Barron on a live report from out in Pasadena, California, as he was at the Rose Bowl game. And now we're joined by the man here at Stoner's Pizza, Charles Crowley. How are you, sir?
Doing good.
All right. I can't hardly hear you there, son. I'll turn you up a little bit. All right. We got through Christmas. We got through New Year's. Tell us a little bit about what's going on now that we've turned the corner here at Stoner's Pizza for the new year.
Well, I can tell you something. I think mine's still a little low.
Go ahead.
All right. One thing that was really good, we had to raise our wing prices a little while back because the price per case had shot up 25% in like 2 months.
Right.
But it's come back down, so I get to pass the savings on to the customers. I brought the prices down a little bit, so
that's a good thing.
Yeah. Start eating them wings again.
All right, give us a wing special you got going on out here.
I got 25 wings, and you know they're big, monstrous size. $26.99.
That's a deal.
Yep.
Buck a piece, you can't beat that.
There you go.
And there's some good eating, folks. All right, let's go back and let's get your thoughts first of all, as we got a satisfied client sitting over here munching on some as we speak. Let's talk about Georgia and Oklahoma. Your thoughts on that game?
Wow.
What a game, right?
What a game. At halftime, I was kind of like, well, Georgia's defense better show up in the second half or this game's over.
Right.
And they did. They come out and stopped him, what, 4 times in a row?
5 times in a row.
5 times in a row?
Yeah, 4 punts and an interception.
Yeah. So, and allowed Georgia to climb back into it. I thought the game was, the minimum had already swapped, and it was all but over until Michelle fumbled the ball.
Right.
And they returned it, and then after that it just got kind of crazy.
Crazy. One of the best football games, probably the best game I've seen on TV all year, without a doubt. One of them. Yeah. No doubt about it. Move over to Alabama and Clemson. Kind of turned out like you thought it would, or maybe not. Thought maybe a little more scoring from Clemson.
I thought maybe a little more scoring from Clemson. I thought their defensive line was going to be a lot more dominant than what it was. I was still disappointed in Alabama's offense.
Yeah.
Inability to throw the ball downfield still.
And run the football to a certain extent.
And run it to a certain extent, but they were trying to run it against one of the best defensive lines in the country that basically knew it was coming. But I was very impressed by Alabama's defense. They were just all over the quarterback. That poor kid couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, they held them to the season low of 46 yards rushing, I believe was their rushing yardage. The only team outside of Auburn that held them under 100 yards rushing on the year.
Yeah. I got some advice for Kirby. When you get out at the beginning of the game, throw the ball.
All right, so let's talk about that game a little bit. I think Alabama better come up with some offensive production if they're going to win this football game.
Yeah, or it could turn into a defensive battle unless, Georgia is throwing the ball. But I will tell you, I don't think I've ever looked at a freshman kid that was just as cool and as calm as he was in that game. I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, he's a very composed young man, and you've watched him grow as the season goes on. As you look going into this game, keys to the game for you obviously is you're going to have to stop Michelle and Chubb and Swift and all of that. If Georgia can't win the football, can Jake Fromm throw it against the Alabama defense and beat them?
I think that's what they need to do to come out to start. He don't have to be hitting no long bombs or anything, but just to show, hey, we can throw these 3- and 5-yard passes and complete them as long as his offensive line can hold up. If he can do that, then I believe they can run the ball. If Alabama knows you're going to run the ball, you're not going to run it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a key to it, and I actually think he'll do. I think it's more 10 to 15-yard passes, and I think that's what he can get away with. He's got to make the Alabama linebackers honest.
Exactly,
and they're not. Kirby's not going to abandon the run. I mean, obviously he's got a little advantage spending all that time with the Alabama program. Yeah, I understand he was a defensive coordinator. He watched their offense every day, and I don't think they've changed that much from 2 years ago. I don't think they're as prolific offensively. I do believe they miss Lane Kiffin as a play caller for that football team. But I think you've got to, if you look at the two coaching staffs, I think the advantage is probably to Georgia a little bit in this game simply because of the inside knowledge of Kirby. And he's going to know that defense too.
Well, I mean, but you got to look. They know his defense inside and out because he's basically running the same exact defense.
He is. I don't think that the Bama coaches know his personnel quite as well, tendency-wise, as maybe Kirby will know for the Alabama players. But now you got a lot of guys out for Alabama again.
Well, you got to think, where did Pruitt come from?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
so,
he was at Georgia too.
He knows their defensive players and some of their offensive players and their tendencies. So I think the knowledge is there. I think that kind of cancels out. I honestly think that. But I would give – if I was going to give Georgia a small advantage, I would say it beat Jake Fromm.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Jalen Hurts, 26-2 now as a starter. Y'all still giving him hell.
Yeah, still. I mean, the last 2 games, our offense has been anemic, and it's been the defense is saying, hey, we're not going to let you run the ball. We're not going to let, Hurts scramble around. We're going to make him throw the ball. And he hasn't been able to get the job done.
The injuries. Another linebacker hurt in the game. He's going to be out. You see this a high-scoring affair or a low-scoring affair?
Very low-scoring.
Very low-scoring. All right. I'm going to put you on the money here. Give me your best take on the final outcome on this one.
I'm going to say I think Alabama at this point in time, and this is the only way they're going to win, is their offensive and defensive line is still better than Georgia's.
All right, so give me a score.
17-13.
Bama 17, Georgia 13 in a really low scoring. I can tell you this right now, if that's the final score, I probably got to agree with you. Alabama wins the football game. I think if these two teams go into the 20s and above,
might be Georgia.
It's going to be. I think it will be Georgia. I think that the key is going to keep Georgia under 24 points. If Alabama can do that, they'll win the football game. If they can't, Georgia's going to win it.
Well, I'm going to take you back to a game, and if I was Kirby, this is what I would kind of be looking at. Remember back when LSU and Alabama played for the first time, and they both just tried to run straight at each other, and
right.
They really couldn't make no ground? I would think if Kirby comes in with that mentality, that's what this type of game would end up being, and that would be in Alabama's favor. But if he takes the other route, where they played them in the national title and said, we got to throw the ball to loosen them up, then he'll have a whole lot better chance of winning.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We got Mike Owens on the phone with us. Mike, how are you tonight?
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. So you're fired up and you're ready for the national title game.
Roll Tide.
I am ready for the national title game. One way or the other, whether we win it or not, I am ready for the game.
Well, it's been since 1983 since you've been there. Go back to last week, your impressions on the Rose Bowl.
Well, I think someone talked about it maybe when Terry was on there. They seemed to play – they weren't playing themselves. They weren't flying to the ball. They looked tight. It looked like they were – some coaches will say that you need to play with just reacting, not thinking. And it looked like to me they were thinking. And they needed to just be reacting. And when they did that, and I saw an article today, they started doing the blitzing, started running blitzes and playing man-to-man, and those windows that Baker Mayfield had to throw in shrunk down from picture windows down to little door peepholes, and it showed. He was not making the throws in those little small windows like he was when it was just wide open receivers running down the field.
The second half Georgia defense, I thought, was the difference in the football game, even though, God almighty, it went to overtime and there were turnovers and everything else. But I really felt like, and we've talked about this all night, when they allowed Georgia to kick the field goal at halftime, it gave them a little momentum, but they made the adjustment. They started bringing the weak side pressure on the blitz, and they forced their linebacker guys to go man coverage, and Georgia did a great job. They sent them packing 5 possessions in that second half without any points, and Georgia found a way to win. It was impressive. Mike, we're getting short on time here. Thoughts about Monday night against Alabama?
Well, number one, we can't start off slow. I do think that Alabama and Georgia, because of Kirby Smart and Saban's time together, the teams are almost mirror images of each other. I do think Alabama, of course, their history is better than we are right now as far as the program goes. But I think we're going to match up with them better than we matched up with Oklahoma.
You might be right. I
do that.
Right.
And I think that's going to be the difference. It's going to be a real close ball game. And if Georgia can get any kind of run game and maybe get a turnover or two, or can make a couple of key stops, then Georgia may come out with a national camp.
Mike, Charlie and I were just talking about this. I think Alabama has to hold Georgia somewhere under 24 points in this game for Alabama to win it. I think if Georgia gets over 21 points, they're probably going to win that football game. 24. Yeah. I'm going to say Georgia's got to have 24 on the board to win the football game.
Yeah, I think so. I did see a thing today where their linebacker is one of Alabama's linebackers is going to be out. He's having surgery. You don't like to see any kid have to go through that. I mean, it may help us a little bit or it may not. I don't know. But I hate to see that happen.
He was instrumental in that game.
Yeah, we're going to have to score some points.
All right, give me your prediction on the game.
31-28.
31-28 Dogs. And the drought ends since 1980. You win in 83, didn't win it, but you can win your first one since 1980. And Georgia fans can talk about it for a long time if they win it, because I think they're going to be in it for a good number of years with Kirby as the coach at Georgia.
Well, I'm not going to look too far in the future. Let's just hope we win it this year, and then we'll worry about next year when it comes.
All right, brother. We'll enjoy the game on Monday night.
I will. Go Dogs.
All right, that's Mike Owens. We got another prediction that came in. Russ Campbell picks it. Georgia 24, Alabama 14. A lot of time still to pick. We go to Monday now before you can get the deadline to get your picks in. Don't forget, next Thursday night, grand prize drawings will be here. We're going to do it a couple of different ways. We'll let everybody know. We want all the winners next Thursday night here at Stoner's Pizza, as we'll have our guys giving everything away. And, of course, you'll be here next Thursday night.
I'll be here next Thursday night.
Throwing a little Making Bacon baseball tickets in, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm going to give them a certificate for it, and then they can come back once I get my hands on the tickets.
And pick them up as they go. All right, sounds good. All right, once again, we want to thank our guests tonight. We want to thank Terry Harbin, Georgia Southern Network, sat in with us tonight, Bobby Pope, Mike and Brett and Charlie and everybody else that we had on the line tonight. Thank you, guys. It's been a wonderful season. It's going to be great next Thursday night live here at Stoner's Pizza. Falcons Saturday night. I think it's going to be tough for the Birds to get it done against the Rams. We'll see. Hopefully Atlanta can find a way to move on in the playoffs. You had 3 teams from the NFC South get in the playoffs. You got Carolina, Atlanta, and New Orleans. And then you've got Minnesota, Philadelphia, and the Los Angeles Rams. Is there in it too. But it's all about Monday night, the national championship. It's the Georgia Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide. We'll see how it washes out. We'll get your picks. We'll see you next Thursday night, everybody. Our time is up. We thank you for yours.
Before you put your company logo or event name on the streets, say it with authority. Apparel Authority. Now at a new location off Eisenhower Parkway across from Lowe's. Shirts, hats, cups, pens, patches, we put your logo on almost anything. Our team provides quality craftsmanship and custom embroidery, and our screen printing will turn your design into wearable works of art. Call or stop by and